Good morning. Today, I thought I would take a minute and talk about a subject near and dear to everybody's heart, and that is dessert. Um, Dessert is a double edged sword on keto. Um, we all want to have something sweet, and we all crave sweet things, but the reality is the more sweet you eat, the more sweet you're going to crave. And the more cravings you have, the more sweet you're going to eat. And a lot of the things on keto are artificially sweet, right? We've got stevia, monk fruit, erythritol, and all of these fake sweeteners. They just create a compulsion to I got to have something sweet. I got to have dessert. So the best thing you can do is go for those desserts that aren't heavily sweetened. Limit dessert to a couple of times a week, and definitely look at what you're going to eat before you eat it and think about, do I really want this? Is this the satisfaction that I need? Is this is this something that I need to fulfill right this very minute? A lot of times the answer is no. Self-satisfaction, self-gratification, that's not what life is about. Now, savoring life and enjoying the sweet stuff, it is important. It is important to take a moment and celebrate what you have without ruining the gains that you've made. And also remember, dessert is not calorie free. And ultimately, if you're eating more calories than your body needs, you're going to gain weight. The other thing with sweetened foods is that even though they don't contain sugar, they don't affect blood sugar, they do affect insulin. And insulin will go up anytime you eat something sweet. You can look it up. It's called the cephalic insulin response. And basically what it means is if you eat sweet food, your body expects sugar, it's going to dump insulin. And every time you dump insulin, it's going to slow your progress if you're eating for weight loss goals. Now, obviously, I'm not eating to lose weight. I'm actually eating to gain weight. But I still don't want high insulin levels, and I still don't want to be spiking my insulin all the time, eating sweet things constantly. So, just practice mindful eating, And with that said, I'm going to get set up, and I'm going to show you, just going to do a pantry raid and show you what I got on deck for dessert. I think some of the things you're really going to like them. I know I love some of them, and some of them are just straight up. I have brownie mix that is every good as Betty Crocker brownies with no effect on blood sugar. So I'm going to show you some of those things, what I do for dessert, and hopefully you like it. Let me get set up and we'll show it to you. Okay, so I have emptied out the pantry, and I'm going to show you what I have on hand for when the sweet urge hits me. One of the things I want to talk about is net carbs versus total carbs. All of these things have a fiber component, and they're going to tell you the net carbs. But the reality is you cannot sprinkle fiber on birthday cake and call it low carb. Okay? So, yes, you can subtract some of the fiber, but how much of the fiber are you absorbing and how much is it not affecting you? Really, nobody can tell you that. But eating a ton of extra fiber is not super necessary. And playing the subtract the fiber game is really just going to wind up with you eating way more carbohydrate than you want to eat. So I'm going to start with a dessert book that I really like. This is by Carolyn Ketchum, Easy Keto Desserts. Available on Amazon, relatively inexpensive, and a great resource if you're looking for, a way to get your dessert on. So Carolyn Ketchum also has a great website, All Day I Dream About Food, with a lot of free resources, which is great. Slim Fast. Slim Fast has some junk, and then they have these fat bombs. And these fat bombs, I would say, are not junk. But they are a little bit on the small side. 7 carbs, 3 fiber, 3 erythritol. So the way that works is you subtract the fiber and the erythritol, so 7 minus 6, 1 net carb, right? But I still just count it as total carbs, and I say that's a 7 carb snack, and that keeps me under my 20 for the day. but the ingredients aren't horrible. And if you just want a sweet bite, it works. Fat Bomb is good. Quest cookie. Look at that, 4 net carbs, 9 fiber. So you start getting into this higher and higher fiber numbers, right? And remember, wheat fiber, if you're not eating a lot of wheat, it's going to not make you feel super great. If you're not eating a whole lot of certain things, you know, it's going to affect you. 19 carbs. That is a whole day for me. So I don't eat one of these cookies alone. I usually split it with my wife for breakfast. Also, bear in mind that if you're eating a lot of erythritol, that can have some GI upset and cause you to have some bathroom trips maybe you don't want. Keto cups. These I get at a health food store. I haven't tried ordering them online because I don't like them to come melted, but I do get them at Earth Origins here in Ocala. Really great ingredients. Monk fruit extract. And if you compare these to the Slim Fast bar, let's see here if we can get it to focus. Doesn't really want to focus, but we're looking something like here. Let me see if we can change this. Hold on one second. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Just doesn't want to do it. There we go. 5 carbs, 3 fiber, 2 net carbs. Still 130 calories though, right? So you don't want to go crazy on them. But my wife really loves these. They do make these in coffee also. I would tell you that the coffee ones are not great. Now, they make them in little packs too. So a little pack is just nice for portion control, right? Here's something I do for breakfast sometimes. I do a smart cake, okay? And I do this with butter. These are available online, or I bought these locally at Earth Origins as well. You're looking at total carbs 9, 5 fiber, 4 erythritol. You're looking at 1 net carb for 1 cake. And they are very light, they are very airy, they're not substantial, but they are also a low calorie thing. And for a breakfast, they make them in lemon, they make them in orange, they make them in cinnamon. And heck, even if you put that on the bottom of some of the ice creams I'm going to show you here, it's not a bad little bottom piece. So this is Wink ice cream, cinnamon bun. Wink, I like it because it does not contain all the erythritol. So if you're looking here, this is 5 carbs, 4 fibers, 1 erythritol. And not bad ingredients. You've got some fiber, pea protein, some gums, which I'm not a big fan of the gums, but a little bit's not going to kill you. And then stevia and monk fruit. So good ingredients. Any low carb ice cream must sit at room temperature for a while before it's going to taste good. Otherwise the texture is just going to be like a brick. Rebel ice cream. I love me some Rebel ice cream. Texture, like I said, if you let it sit out for a while, longer than you think you should, it's fantastic. And 4 net carbs for the whole pint. Now, I would never eat the whole pint. I would just eat a small serving. But if you look, 10 carbs, 2 fiber, 7 erythritol. So also still low in carbs, but more erythritol. And the more erythritol you get, the more GI distress you're going to get. And it really is just kind of overly sweetened. I also do almond butter. They make this with chocolate. I just don't have the chocolate on hand. But a scoop of almond butter is not a bad little treat. You know, 6 carbs, 3 fiber, so it's 3 net carbs. And I will put that directly on a piece of dark chocolate. Now, 3 pieces of dark chocolate is 9 carbs, but I'm only eating 1 piece and 5 fiber. So 4 net carbs for 3 pieces, but I'm only going to eat 1 piece. And this is 90% dark chocolate. But you do a piece of dark chocolate with a piece of almond butter, and you have you like a little almond butter cup, and it's satisfying. Now let's talk about some mixes. Keto and Company makes some great mixes in terms of flavor, and you can see 1.8 net carbs, 1.1 net carbs. This is fudge brownies and vanilla cake mix. And I can attest for their mixes, and they also make a really good pancake mix, pancake waffle mix. You know, but you get into the whole game here. 16 grams of carbs, 8 grams of fiber, 6 grams of erythritol. How much of that junk do you want to eat? So, yes, they are low in carbs, but obviously something we want to limit our exposure to. Here's another one here. This is the other one. 24 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fiber, 10 grams of erythritol. So you think about eating 10 grams of erythritol and 12 grams of fiber, that is a shot to the GI tract. So, you know, but if you want that sweet, there's a price to be paid for everything, right? In terms of mixes and stuff, I keep 100% dark chocolate on hand. That can be done with just a simple recipe would be like just some cream cheese, heavy whipping cream, a little bit of dark chocolate, and you can see here the carbs on this, 3 carbs, 2 fiber, so 1 net carb per a tablespoon. So just some whipped cream, some cream cheese, and a little bit of baking cocoa powder, and then I use a little bit of Swerve. Just some Swerve sweetener, and you have a little fluff. It's a chocolate fluff, and it could be used as a frosting, or you can just, you know, just eat it as a whip. I have 2 types of Swerve. One is confectioners, one is granular. I also use the stevia blend. Now be aware that some of these stevia blends contain dextrose or maltodextrin. If you see dextrose or maltodextrin in the ingredients, that is sugar. Do not buy it. You are buying sugar. Okay? Especially maltodextrin. How they get away with not calling that carbohydrate is beyond me. It will affect your blood sugar. So maltodextrin and you know, sorbitol is not good for the GI tract, so I avoid sorbitol. Erythritol is what you want. I do keep walnut flour on hand, so you can mix a walnut flour with a little bit of cocoa powder or almond flour or pecan flour or coconut flour. I mix all those, and a lot of times we'll make a little mug cake, a little chocolate mug cake. Super satisfying, super quick, not a whole lot of effort. There is one other thing here. Let's see if I can lay hands on it real quickly. Let me pause for a second. So here we have Swerve makes a cookie mix, and they make this chocolate cake mix, and they make a vanilla cake mix. So also lower in carbs, because obviously they're a sugar replacement company. This is going to be, you know, 12 servings or 1 slice is going to be 14 carbs, 3 fiber, 8 erythritol. So 8, 9, 10, 11 minus 4, you know, 14 and 11. You get 3 net carbs per piece. That's not terrible, but like I said, you get into the whole fiber erythritol game. This is actually not terrible though. And I do these as muffins, so I believe portion control is important. And you see all this raspberry stuff all over the top of it. Never would I put all that raspberry junk on top of there. I would do a cream cheese and cocoa powder and stevia cream cheese frosting, and that would be absolutely excellent. And I do these as just muffins, and I think doing muffins or doing something like even cutting up your brownies for portion control is absolutely essential, right? Doesn't do us any good to do great all day and then eat a whole cake. So don't play the fiber game. Don't eat mindlessly. Do some portion control. But more importantly, love your body, love your life, and love the people around you. And if you get the opportunity to have something sweet that's not going to ruin your day, take it. Okay? But, you know, all things in moderation. We're doing what we're doing for a purpose, and we don't want to do things that are going to hinder our goals or set us back. Hopefully this video helps you. Hopefully it gives you some ideas. I've got a lot of stuff. Okay? And only because I've been doing this for more than a year and a half, right? You don't need to go out and buy all this junk all at once. Pick and choose wisely. Pick a couple, start with one, limit it, be moderate, love your body, love yourself, love your life. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again. God bless you. Have a great night.